That RNA guard looks up at you and just, like, goes back to reading and goes, go on in. He's asleep in there. Hey there, is this your dog?
Yes.
No.
Out at Sprout.
That's her nephew.
That's
They'll
her
be like, "Excuse
nephew.
me."
How dare you?
How dare you?
Sprout showing him the picture.
As we walk in, her feet begin smoking again. When we walk out, the guard is gone.
There's only smoking boots.
That guard's name was Charcoal.
There's just like boots with 2 cartoon bones sticking out of each.
You go inside another sad house.
How long can we go without a fight?
You hear Zachariah outside, like allowed it. Oh yeah, windows open. So only slightly muffled. How dare you? As you take a look around and start like wandering through this house. It's got the same oppressive aura as before.
I assume moss on basically all of these windows, really.
Yeah, those. Yeah, all of those.
Gosh.
Opens door.
He's just like
it's
laundry
Piff.
barrel.
I don't feel good, blah.
I take nappy.
I am coma.
Status coma.
Moss on this window, probably no.
No, none at
Yep.
all.
But then there's probably a lot on this one.
Yes.
Okay.
You're figuring it out.
And on the northern ones, question mark?
No. Start of this window, right here, and then that's it.
Yeah. that
Like the
makes sense.
very, very edge of it, and it fades
Yep.
off.
The angle checks out. Another body, detective.
Zachariah slowly opens the door and wanders in. So, judging by the last house, I'm sure there's not much you could do for him, but I'd appreciate it if you could at least take a look. He is elderly, after all.
Right, of course. Well, Celine, she still has her little lower mask on. This is a weird question to ask, but I figure I'd ask anyways. Considering your position, do you want us to tell you anything? Otherwise, you might be obligated to tell the folks. Or we could just continue to keep you in the dark for the most part. So if someone does ask you, you can honestly say you don't know.
It's us, the evil ringleaders of Aranea, codename the Folks.
The Rents.
Zachariah sort of waves his hand in the air back and forth. No, originally I was going to say leave me in the dark so that I could feign ignorance, but honestly, now that you've covered for me, I feel like I owe it to you to cover for you. So anything you find out that could assist my friend over here, that would be helpful to me as well.
All right.
What's his name?
His name's Armand.
Armand. Okay.
Velvet doctors at him and rolls a 22.
It's pretty good.
Fantastic. Okay.
Juliet leans over to Zachariah and holds down a little book to him and points to a page. That one there?
Zachariah nods slowly.
Really?
Celine wants to kind of eyeball that. What the hell was that about?
What do you to make a roll? Let's see.
Yeah, let's make it the thievery trickery roll.
Yeah.
Juliet, like, fucking, like, tall person stepping over the doggy gate with the window, or she's just stepping in and out of it.
She might. Oh, jeez, it wasn't scrolled down.
11.
I think you'd get a hint at least.
You get a hint. It looked like a list, maybe, of names.
Yep.
That looked kind of useful for our investigation, maybe?
Not for your investigation. That's something between me and her.
I see.
He actually, like, puts his head down. I don't see any reason to lie, so why would I? They're people from my homeland.
Oh.
I'm a Lancian.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah.
she gestures to Armand. Is he a Lancian as well?
Nods.
Out of curiosity, the woman in the other house.
No.
Okay.
No, not in this case. That's why I'm sorry to drag you over here. Especially because I'm sure I'm wasting your time, especially if you're hot on the trail of something. But I'm sort of obligated to help a countryman in need.
No, this is the trail. This
That's
is
fair.
It's all right.
Velvet, have you found anything?
He's in a similar state. You can tell that apart from the coma, this man does have other signs of illness, but they are not involved, I guess. His breathing is sort of like shallow. You can tell that there's some like phlegm in his lungs, which disgusting description, but very real.
Yeah.
If you had to guess, this person is probably not particularly long for this world anyway. But now has coma on top of that.
Velvet probably won't recount that part.
Yeah, he's pretty much about the same way. Time basilisk.
Gotcha.
Well, one of the things that we've noticed between at least these two buildings, and we'll obviously need to do more investigating. Actually, we should just check the houses in general. As you can see here, do not touch, especially if you're magic. She points from a fair distance with her glove. There is some moss that's been growing, and noticeably, at least from these two examples, for these two buildings, they're coming through the same direction windows.
Fascinating.
And
Okay.
normally they line up pretty much perfectly with whoever's sleeping.
That's not worrying at all, he says, walking over.
Actually, quite the contrary. Oh, I see.
Well, thank you for taking a look. If there's anything that I could do to perhaps ease his pain, as a doctor, could I ask for your advice?
I don't really think there's anything we can do right. This feels like a magic problem. We literally just came from a town where someone had a magic problem kind of involving this moss in its own... I guess it wasn't really the moss, but it was a very similar... Hi, Glamier. It was a very similar...
See him outside. He's scoping it, looking at it with his little camera-shaped hands, like...
Oh,
Sorry, his what? Oh.
He's
All
doing
right.
He's
camera
making
hands.
cameras with his hands.
He's doing like the frame thing with his
Yeah.
hand.
give him a camera hand.
I thought I was like, excuse me, this whole time Glamier's had like fucking disposable camera hands.
Magic!
Sprout is trying her hardest to actually like pull the bed legs.
What's the matter, little guy? Oh, if there's a problem involving the windows, yeah, no,
I mean,
that's wise.
you know, if you're all right with it, this could be, I guess, our test group. If we move him away from the windows, or at least, especially an open one. That's actually a good question. Who opened these?
I believe they were open. God, I should have paid closer attention to that. He stops and thinks. I myself didn't, but I assume that none of the guards would have either. So if I
wait a
had to
minute.
guess, maybe the victims themselves.
Celine comes here. Anyone else think it's really suspicious that these three windows are open and they line up perfectly with this guy?
I think everything's suspicious.
Fair, but
You're right.
Hold on.
Hi, Glamier.
Hi!
Glamier dives out the window.
Ah! What can he see from here? Looking at this way.
Ooh. You take a look out and over, and you see the rest of the town sort of laid out in front of you. And sort of silhouetted behind it is this, it's a big tower, sort of dwarfing the rest of it.
That's the ebony tower, I assume.
Yes.
What time of day is it?
It's getting late afternoon, actually.
Atticus is looking out the window over here. Are the magnetic field readings stronger in the east?
Indeed they are.
Yep, just like I thought. It seems like, I don't know if it's the same thing, but they're definitely related. The magnetic field is strongest in the same direction that moss is gathering.
Interesting.
All right. Well, first things first. Celine's gonna close this window. I think it's important that he does get some fresh air, but not from those windows. And there was no moss on this window, correct?
Correct. Yeah, no, Zachariah helps you open it. He also moved over a spinning wheel, weirdly. Like, he's keeping it close to this person. He kind of shrugs looking over at it. He what do you call it when you have sheep and you spin their wool into things?
Great.
That's what he did.
Oh.
Yes, he says, pointing. I figure once he wakes up, he might as well look at something familiar. Unfortunately, we had to move his sheep because I am not capable of taking care of anything.
That's fair.
So,
I noticed you've been moving the furniture too. Is there a reason for that?
yes. Okay, that was actually me. The rest of this initiative has been overseen by RNA as a whole. We've been given packets. The packet's very boring. He throws you his packet.
Very boring.
Is there just like a ACI art of Harold's face on there? Just like,
Yeah, page 1. You get your first glimpse of a Herald, and it looks like something off of a game facts guide.
Oh,
You mean like on the first page where they're like, I can make the logo in ASCII art?
Exactly.
Is that a person?
Debatable. He motions with his hand. I had all of the furniture actually taken away and stored. I was worried about, unfortunately, our men looting the place, so...
I mean, legitimate concern.
Yeah.
Shrugs. Anything non-essential was actually stored over in the RNA district. It's under lock and key right now, but theoretically, when everybody wakes up, we can give them back their stuff. I just didn't want to leave it here.
No, that was a
People
good
have proven
decision.
themselves less than trustworthy.
Yeah.
Grins.
That's fair.
Yeah, you got yourself surrounded by a bunch of liars.
He smiles at that. I'm among company then.
or am I? Wink.
one.
You got a scrungle.
Were her horns stuck in the doorway or something?
Yes.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Wow, you're huge. Sorry, I just
You're small.
I just didn't. You've been behind us a lot of the time, so I guess I haven't. He looks up at her, like looking up the fucking Empire State Building.
Sprout is desperately holding up the picture to her.
And can I also say this outfit is outstanding.
Juliet is like frozen. She's looking down at Zechariah like with a look on her face that says, "What do?"
You're doing great. They're complimenting you, and in this case, I believe it's genuine. It's fine to smile.
No, you're really pretty.
You are just the straightest shooter I've ever met. Wow.
Sorry, she's shy.
She didn't even step over the wall. That's just broken.
Sorry.
You exit back into Bounty, and the sun's actually started to peek down, sort of bathing everything in an orangey yellow light. The sunlight glimmers off the river, which actually rolls at an even pace, and you realize, yeah, no, big river, big water, huge. To everyone, it's beautiful. Velvet, less so, less beautiful.
Oh.
You don't like that.
That's bad.
Velvet tries
Hey,
not
Velvet, roll me a perception check.
I really don't want to. Okay.
But who can pull the rope from the stone?
Okay, you don't notice it. It's fine.
You leave the house and start wandering deeper into Bounty. There are main roads, but at Zachariah's insistence, he's going to show you a back route that avoids the Arneans.
So, I've also heard that Bounty is known for mercenaries and whatnot. Haven't really seen any. Where do they normally gather? Or is it because you guys are here, they've kind of left?
Yeah, that's actually something of a problem.
Oh.
See, this is normally around the time that some big festival was going to be held. I'm going to admit I wasn't that interested myself until I was stationed here, but adventurers, mercenaries, warriors of all kinds, etc., scavenger hunts, candied apples, jumping in the river, something, I don't know.
That sounds awesome.
He looks back at like your enthusiasm and like he actually like blinks a few times, like he's completely unused to people being excited about things. You know, that doesn't sound half bad. You're right.
I mean, it's
Hello,
worth trying
sir.
at least.
Do you live here?
Yeah. No, I'm Sorry, I'm waiting for my wife. She's, motions with his head to the other side of the bridge.
Oh, is she okay?
Yeah, no, we're doing the evacuation, I guess.
She didn't eat any cake, did she?
I went to go grab sandwiches, and we're meeting up here. He does indeed have 2 sandwiches.
Okay. Well, good luck on the road.
I mean, it's not a bad town, Zachariah says to Atticus wandering around. The people here are fine, if a little unfriendly. He waves to the guy just, like, brow furrowed at him. I get that all the time with people. I don't know what it is.
Celine scurried off really quick. I assume there's like a window here, yeah?
Yeah.
Looking at it, is there any moss or...
Yeah, it's a little light. It's weird. It's mostly against the tree, actually, you see as you pass by. It's almost as if the tree is kind of shielding this house a little bit.
Sprout is almost flailing the picture.
She's looking. Oh man, it was funny when you were paused. What happened was she was just looking down at it like you can't tell any expression on her face at all. But then you see Glamier walk past behind Velvet, and he's just crying.
You okay? Looking at Atticus and then back to Glamier.
You know, Atticus, today is a very nice day.
It is. Oh gosh, I almost
Wait,
forgot.
where are we going?
I almost forgot. We also needed to pick up a crystal ball while we were here.
Oh my gosh!
Celine is on this side of the building looking at the windows again.
Ooh, okay.
I assume...
Yeah.
All right.
Moss.
Looking at this tree, I guess on like...
Tree is shielding.
Celine's gonna climb up the tree and then get on the roof.
So, in addition to the normal, like, algae-like buildup just from being out in the rain, yeah, no, you see some sparklies in there. There's some rainbow coloration.
Seeing what Celine has been doing, Atticus is gonna take a quick look at this fence.
It's faint, but yeah, you almost see it along the bottom of the fence. It's strange. It almost feels like the more you look at this stuff, the more you become, like, able to see it and pick it out places, like it's standing out to you more.
That's pretty concerning. You guys better wear, like, gloves and boots at all times.
Yeah, no, Celine's got her mask and she just wiggles her gloved hands. Don't worry, I've made sure of that.
You know, it's funny. I've been in this town for a few days, and it isn't until you started pointing it out that I started noticing it.
Yeah. God, it's like, lack for a better term, it's like a grenade went off of paint.
No, it's it looks to me like a classic pattern that you see in the rocket wastes. If there's a new crash site, once the outer shell of the rocket breaks down, usually over the course of a few days, all of the really corrosive chemicals will strip off and get in the air, and whatever the prevailing wind pattern is, it'll just paint the landscape with them. You have to be really careful because it builds up and you can track it back indoors.
Out of curiosity, for like, if I were to compare the side of this tree, this furthest east one, to the one that was just in front of this guy's house, does this one have like a thicker coating of the moss, or?
Slightly.
Okay.
Like, yeah, no, a little bit. It's noticeable, but not that noticeable. Like, but there is a slight difference. You definitely pick that up with your eye.
So, if we were going with that mentality of what you were just talking about, Atticus, she flips down.
Juliet was holding her arms out. She was gonna catch you, so now she's just standing
Oh,
there.
I'm not wasting that opportunity. Are you kidding me? That's like one of the coolest things. Yeah, no. Celine is about to hop down and then sees Juliet extending her hands like, oh, hell yeah.
Mrs. gets skewered on her horns.
Real shame.
When
Oh no,
when Celine's caught,
Zachariah.
she's like, thank you.
It happened again.
You know, because you caught me, the drop wasn't nearly as far.
She pats you on the top of the head. I understand.
It's really cool. Anyways, if we were going with what Atticus was saying, it feels like wherever this like crash site quotation marks is, it's probably pretty close to here.
I think it's a little further to the east. The magnetism's getting stronger that way too.
Oh, and what do you know? She looks at the map and points at it. That's where all of the RNAan folks we were holding up, right? That's what Orchid said.
You know this if you read the packet. He points at the packet. The packet has been thrown to the ground. It's on the ground. Nobody reads the packet. But unless you're a particularly bored captain, I suppose. No, it says in the packet that only the RNAans the folks living in the RNAan district don't have to evacuate. Everybody there is fine, and I know it says RNAan district there, but actually no RNAans live there, or very few that I'm aware of. That's civilian housing through and through, provided for by the state.
Really?
Weird.
Yep.
All right,
I mean,
let's head over to
all
that
we
next
really
house.
know is that it's east and maybe north of here, but I should be able to tell if the readings suddenly stop getting stronger in that direction, so I can let us know if we're going the wrong way.
To the next house.
You head to the next house, which involves a short detour down a side alley, which, thankfully in Bounty, Velvet isn't the type of side alley that you're used to, or presumably Zachariah's used to. This is just like a grassy path that's, like, actually pretty long. Nobody's been bothering to trim it or anything. And, you head deeper into the town. You start to smell something. It's almost like someone's burning something, but it's like, ugh, god, gross smell. Atticus, it's almost familiar to you. It smells a little chemically, but like, not quite.
Holy cats, these maps are so big.
Zachariah motions in front of him. Okay. Welcome to what is this, a garbage disposal? Where are we? Like, flicks this guard. We're using that, I don't know, I think it's a pizza oven or something. We're using it to dispose of garbage. That is a waste of a perfectly good pizza oven. Zachariah stares daggers at this man.
Is there a pile of garbage somewhere?
Actually, you're sort of next to a pile of garbage.
Is there a pile of garbage away from prying eyes?
On the other side of the pizza oven, maybe. Yeah. There's one guard there who just sees you scoot around, then, like, lean down to the pile of garbage, and he just slowly walks away.
Seeing Zechariah flick this man and then berate him, Atticus walks up. Please be careful. I don't want that to happen again, and I feel like you might be making more enemies.
You're right. He lets the guy go, and he, like, walks away, like, what the fuck's his problem? I don't know what it is. Do I give people the wrong impression? Juliet, do I give people the wrong impression?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if I may be so bold as to make a suggestion, maybe don't come out swinging.
Normally, I would get any degree of offended at that, but no, you're right.
I'm definitely on your side for a lot of things, and I think sometimes those actions may be justified. But I think more people would be less inclined to literally try to surround you to beat you up if you, like, pick specific events for it to happen. Like if you tried talking and they weren't backing down, then maybe go for it.
Okay. I thought it was my face. I thought it was my attitude. I thought it was my hat.
No, it's the assault.
For a split second, like, flares up again, but it seems like you're actually really good at disarming this man, and he, like, hangs his shoulders and looks down. What's wrong, little buddy?
Sprout's reaching towards, maybe the pamphlet still there.
Do you want to read the packet? You don't want to read the packet.
You don't want to read the packet.
He wants to read the packet.
Okay.
Trust me, Sprout, he loves learning.
Well, you're not going to learn anything from this, but be my guest. Zechariah gives you the packet. This is, oh my god, this is an RNA, like, manual of conduct. It's basically like a very short premiere on what's happening in Bounty right now. All of it's stuff you already know, but it actually does have some tips on how to be an effective RNA guard, you know? Like, general cleanliness tips, patrol routes, how to put on your uniform and everything.
Does that power up Ned?
Oh, shit.
Ned is now guard 2.
Ned? Yeah. Ned, I'm gonna say Ned has an RNA setting if you want it now.
That could be useful.
That could be really useful. Holy crap.
Yeah, you could like look like an RNA and get. Honestly, that's a really great power to just look like a guard that fits the city.
Oh my god.
Still
I
sounds
hope that
like
was
Ned.
educational. Still absolutely sounds like Ned.
Hello, I am Ben.